Here's an interview from one of our past shows on Rock and Metal Revival. If you're interested in hearing full shows, go to our Facebook page and check out our list of affiliates for times and places where you can hear Rock and Metal Revival. There's a latest single called Battle Lessons from Damon Johnson, and we want to welcome back to the show our friend who's been here a few times, Damon Johnson. Welcome back, Damon.
So great to speak to you guys, Greg. Always, man. Hope everyone is good and healthy. And thank you for a little time today to talk about some music.
Well, it's always good to have you back on the show. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that last song we just heard, Battle Lessons, is the title track from a forthcoming release. What can you tell us about that upcoming release?
It is indeed. This is a record that I feel like the completion of it is struggling to find an ending, Greg. Thank you very much to the coronavirus. We started this thing way back in February, and the goal had been to have the entire thing finished and packaged and ready to go literally this week. So here in Nashville, much like pretty much every city in the country, there was a big shutdown that happened almost the entire spring, and it wasn't until the first part of the summer that we were able to get back in the studio and continue work. So we're about 2/3 of the way done. We're getting back in the first of next month to finish the remaining tracks. And if I have my way about it, the entire thing will be finished and out in physical form by the end of the year. It doesn't leave us a lot of time, but I'm working hard, man, to get that done.
Well, that sounds great. Well, we love hearing new music from you. Now, Damon, I became familiar with your work when you were back in Brother Cane, and we had talked about that. And I've been following your career either with your solo projects, Thin Lizzy or Black Star Riders. Now, I've been a fan of Thin Lizzy for a lot of years. And those of our listeners that don't know, can you tell them how you got involved with Thin Lizzy and Black Star Riders? That had to be almost a dream come true to be playing that Thin Lizzy music.
Thank you, brother. It was indeed incredible, and it's especially worth noting that I saw Thin Lizzy, the original band, in concert just outside of where I lived in North Alabama back in 1979, Greg. I was 15, and I went with my friends, and it changed my life. You know, I became an instant fan. I bought everything they'd ever released soon after that. So Thin Lizzy had informed my guitar playing, my songwriting, all this stuff. We put Brother Cane together. You know, I did some other stuff into the 2000s. So back in 2011, I was playing guitar in the Alice Cooper band, and we did this random show in Dublin, Ireland, of all places, where Thin Lizzy originated. Mm-hmm. The bill was Def Leppard, Alice Cooper, and the opening band was Thin Lizzy. Scott Gorham had put a new version of the band together, and they were there. And they were fantastic. And they got to see me play that night, and we all spent a little time together. It was about 3 weeks later, man, the phone rings, and it's their manager telling me that Richard Fortus, who was playing with the guys in Thin Lizzy, was about to have to go back to Guns N' Roses. Would I be interested in the position?
Wow.
You know, it's like people have said, oh, wow, that must have been a dream come true. I'm like, are you kidding? It would have never occurred to me that would even be fathomable, that I could join the band that had most influenced my entire developmental life as a musician and a guitar player. So it's just an unprecedented story, really.
It's amazing that you get to play with the band that influenced you as a guitar player. And I was just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the tribute show to Thin Lizzy that you did with Richie Faulkner of Judas Priest. Now, how did that come all about?
Well, you know, during this time of the season of the pandemic, as we call it, you know, like so many other acts, man, we started dipping our toes into doing some live stream performances. And I feel like each one we've done, Greg, we've gotten better at it. The audio has gotten better. The video has gotten better. So we knew we were releasing the new song, and I was trying to come up with something to do that would be special to kind of celebrate this moment. Well, Richie Faulkner from Judas Priest, he and I have been friends for over a decade now. He and his wife, he and his girlfriend, rather, they had just moved to Nashville the end of last year. And we were talking on the phone, and he said, "Hey, man, if you ever fancied having, an extra guitar," he goes, "I'm doing nothing. I would love to play some guitar." And I'm like, "Man, are you kidding me?" I said, "Give me a minute. I'm going to get back to you." So I came up with this idea, tribute to Thin Lizzy. He couldn't say yes fast enough, Greg. And so for the better part of the last month, everybody's been at home working on their parts. We had our first rehearsal last Saturday. Brother, it is insane.
Nice.
It sounds so great. We're having so much fun. And honestly, man, we would be doing this thing selfishly just for ourselves, just for an excuse to get together and play some great songs. But, to have Richie joining us is just an honor. He's a world-class guitarist, as you know. And it's a thrill, man. It's going to be amazing.
That's outstanding. Now, any plans on possibly putting that out on DVD, Damon?
Well, no to that specifically, but, it's going to sound amazing. We're definitely going to capture it. And, man, I know Richie himself had expressed, the desire to, for us to play together any chance that we get, obviously,
Nice.
If it doesn't conflict with his schedule. So, who knows what we're going to do after that, man. It's certainly going to be special. It's just going to be special. And, I'm doing all I can to bring justice. Most of the guitar parts, man, I've played the bulk of these songs at one time or another, but to play it and sing it simultaneously is a whole other experience for me, man. And I'm having a great time with that. And hopefully I'm going to do those songs and everybody involved proud.
Excellent.
And, I can't wait.
Well, we've brought up the COVID a couple of times, and I hate to bring it up, but this no live music thing has hurt the fans, the musicians, the entertainers. But do you find yourself, Damon, writing a lot more music now that since this thing's taken you off the road? Because I just got a feeling that there's going to be some incredible music coming out of this thing.
That's a great question you ask, Greg, and it's a very understandable question. What I am finding with my friends in the music community that I talk to, particularly folks that are songwriters, is, there's a lot of downtime, but there's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of uncertainty. We're getting so many mixed messages about the whole medical science component with this thing. The way our entire country is dealing with it has just become a hot mess, as you know. So, man, it's hard to be creative when you're anxious. It's hard to be creative when you don't have a plan. You don't have gigs to play. There's no schedule for putting out your record, especially if you're on a major label. Man, I got friends here in town on major record labels, and, Greg, they are completely shut down. They have no idea what the next 6 months hold, maybe even the next 12 months. That's a frightening place to find yourself. So, I'm grateful, so grateful, that I had really started my writing process back in November and had written the bulk of the songs that are going to complete this new album. I've written a couple of other things. It's a lot more fun to do it with a collaborator, and, I'm getting my use out of my Zoom video conferencing, especially with my buddy Jim, who I wrote. I've been writing songs with Jim for the last 20 years, man. So we've been trying to take advantage of the time. But I can tell you from truthful conversations with a lot of artists, man, it's such an uncertain time that sadly that anxiety, man, it affects that ability to just be a free-thinking, creative person. So I'm just sending good vibes out to everybody, man, and I hope things are going to improve soon, and I hope we can all get back to some type of live performance soon.
Exactly. The one thing that I do appreciate about a lot of artists right now that are getting us new music, as from the fans' perspective, is you are giving us hope and something to take our mind off the situation. So I know as a music lover, we, the listening public, want to thank you for doing what you're doing.
Well, brother, I appreciate you saying that. I am so grateful to have something to do myself. Richie my band, Jared and Robbie, we were all talking about this just Saturday at rehearsal. It's like we're so excited to have a purpose right now, to have activity, to have something to do. And the fact that we're, putting all this work into preparing these songs by one of the great bands of all time that means so much to all of us, it's kind of a win-win. So I guess, man, the one negative is the big letdown when it's all over. It's like, now we're back to not knowing when we can get back on the road. So I think it would be in our best interest, Greg, to come up with plan B. Like, all right, what are we going to follow this up with, man? We got to stay busy. We got to keep ourselves, engaged.
Exactly.
And keep our minds as healthy as we can.
Well, David, my co-host Jerry, who couldn't be here today, wanted me to ask you a question, and that is there anything in the Thin Lizzy catalog that you could think that might have been taken to a different level of success by adding the cowbell? I was thinking maybe Jailbreak.
I have never been asked that question. That is one of the greatest questions I have ever heard. I think the song that should have had the cowbell is the Cowboy song.
Oh, yes.
The Cowboy song is such a great song for those of us here in North America. I think more fans over here value Cowboy song than even in Europe, because, man, Thin Lizzy was so huge in Europe. They had hits on the radio, man. They had, 12 or 15, top 10 singles over the course of their career. But Cowboy song, think about it.
Yeah.
You come into that chorus, get that cowbell going, roll me over and turn me around, straight up like the Blue Oyster Cult song, man. It would just be a perfect fit. Perfect fit.
Perfect
fit.
Never thought of it that way. Well, hey, Damon,
tell Jerry he earns bonus points for that question. That was fantastic.
Well, Damon, can you tell can you tell our fans and our listeners here where they can find out more about the new release, Battle Lessons, and keep up to date with what's going on with you?
Brother, thank you so much. Listen, they can go to the digital streaming site of their choice, wherever they listen to music, Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, Rhapsody. It's going to be there, man. They can hear the single there. They can certainly keep up with everything happening with me at Damon-Johnson.com. I'm super active on all my social media platforms right now, man. Again, it's been fulfilling for my soul, to connect with people even in that way. And this is a proper hard rock record I'm going to drop on the world this year, Greg, and I couldn't be more proud. I'm honored to have the legendary Nick Raskulinecz producing this thing. His enthusiasm about the demos back in January was one of the greatest compliments I've ever gotten, man. So for him to get excited got me even more pumped about these songs. So I feel like Damon Johnson and the Get Ready, my new band moniker, by the way, that we are here to save rock and roll in these days of the pandemic, man. So we're thrilled to you, grateful to you for giving this new music the attention that you are, Greg, and really proud to get this record out, get this music out this year.
Well, we can't wait to hear more from you. We love the new single, and we always let the artist pick the song out of the interview, and you and I were talking before we went on the air. Tell us a little bit about this song that you wanted us to play.
Greg, I'm so proud of the record I put out early last year, Memoirs of an Uprising. That was the official proper start to my career as a solo artist full-time. Those songs mean so much to me. It almost feels like a concept record in a way. There's a lot of diversity in that record, and we could not have picked a better song to be the focus track on that record. The song you're about to play is called Shivering, Shivering.
All right, it is outstanding. And Damon, you are always welcome back here at Rock and Metal Revival, my friend.
Greg, it's just a pleasure, man. Thank you so much. It's just always good energy from you, my friend. Say hello to everybody for me, and you guys stay healthy, and we're going to get together one day soon. I guarantee it.